Hi, have you ever crocheted a snowflake? They are my all-time favorite projects. So whether you are looking to decorate for the winter holidays or you'd like a small project to beat the summer heat, they are the perfect year-round project.
As you can see, snowflakes come in lots of shapes and sizes. You can look at all the different variations. This is the one that we're going to make today. So you can follow along by downloading my free Let's Make a Snowflake pattern, and you should be able to find the link in the description below. So let's get started. The favorite thread that I like to use when making snowflakes is this DMC Baroque. I've only been able to find it in white and ecru, so if you want to make snowflakes in a different color, my favorite thread is using this Aunt Lydia's. And I also like to use a pretty small hook. This one is a 1.5 millimeter. Since I want to make it a little bit easier to see, what I'm going to use for this snowflake is this paint box cotton DK yarn and a 3 millimeter crochet hook. Okay, to start out, we're going to make the center ring, which is a chain 5, and then you join to form a ring. So I'm going to make my slip knot, then chain 5, and then join in that first chain to make a ring. Okay, for row 2, or round 1, I'm going to chain 1 and then single crochet in the ring. So chain 1 and single crochet. The next part we're going to chain 3 and single crochet in the ring 5 times. So chain 3 and single crochet. Chain 3, single crochet. That's 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and to finish the row, we're going to join with a double crochet in the beginning single crochet. So this is a way to make another chain space. So all snowflakes have 6 sides, and that makes 6 total chain 3 spaces. Okay, for round 2, I'm going to chain 1, single crochet in the chain 3 space. So chain 1. So you're going to work around that double crochet just like it's a chain 3. So single crochet in that space. Chain 3. And then we're going to single crochet in the center of the single crochet we just made. That will make a picot. So in the center of it means you're just going down through the middle of it. So you just go under these 2 loops, the top loop and that side loop right there. Okay, and then we're going to single crochet in that same chain 3 space, which is still that double crochet. And then chain 4 and skip the next single crochet. Okay, and so we need to repeat between the asterisks 4 more times. So we're going to single crochet in the next chain 3 space after with the skipped single crochet. So there's my single crochet. Then we're going to chain 3, and single crochet in the center of that single crochet you just did, and then single crochet in the same chain 3 space. Chain 4 and skip the single crochet. That was 1 repeat. So single crochet in the chain 3 space, chain 3, single crochet in the center, single crochet in the same chain 3 space, chain 4, and skip this single crochet. So 2 more times, single crochet in the chain 3 space, chain 3, single crochet in the center, single crochet in the same chain 3 space, and chain 4. In the center, in the same chain 3 space, okay, so we have one more repeat we have to do. So we're just going to repeat from the asterisk to this little dagger sign. So we're going to single crochet in the chain 3 space, chain 3, single crochet in center, and then in the same chain 3 space. So that's up to this point. So to finish off, we're going to chain 1 and then join with the double crochet. So chain 1 and then join in that beginning single crochet with double crochet. So that's like making a chain 4 space, but it's a way for you to start right in the center of the chain for the next round. Okay, for round 3, we're going to chain 1, single crochet in the chain 4 space, so chain 1, and this is the chain 4 space that we made with that joining double crochet and the chain 1, so there's that single crochet. Then we're going to chain 7, skip picot, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to skip this picot. Then we're going to do the repeat all the way around, so single crochet in the chain 4 space, chain 7, and then skip picot. So there's single crochet, chain 7, and skip the picot, single crochet, chain 7, and skip the picot, single crochet, chain 7, and skip the picot, single crochet, chain 7, and skip that picot. And one more, single crochet, chain 7, and skip the picot. And then we're going to finish off by joining with a slip stitch in the beginning single crochet. So we're going to just go under those loops of the single crochet and make a slip stitch. Okay, so now we are ready with the first 3 rounds. That gets us to this point on the snowflake. The last round is going to be the most detailed one. And as you look at the snowflake, anything you do on one side of the branch of the snowflake has to be mirrored on the other side of the snowflake. So we're going to get to round 4 next. Okay, as you can see, round 4 has lots of steps. So we are going to start out, we want to begin in the same stitch that the slip stitch was made and chain 1. So we're starting from this same stitch. I'm going to chain 1. Step A is we're going to single crochet in that single crochet. So there's my single crochet. Chain 3 and then double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. This is my chain 3. And then I'm going to double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, right there. The next part is we're going to chain 3 and then slip stitch in the 3rd chain from the hook. So here's another chain 3. And then in the 3rd chain, we're going to do a slip stitch. and then chain 3, double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. So there's another chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet. And then we're going to single crochet in that same single crochet as the beginning one that we did. So that's back in the same space. There's that single crochet. And you can see that is this part of the snowflake. For the next step, it says to skip the first chain of the chain 7 space, single crochet in the next, half double crochet in the next, and double crochet in the next. So we're going to skip the first chain, single crochet in the next, and you can go under both loops or just the one loop, either way, however you like to do that. So I'm just going in one loop. Okay, so that was my skip chain, the single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. For the next step, we're going to chain 8, slip stitch in the 2nd chain from the hook, and each of the next 3 chain. So I'm going to chain 8, we're going to slip stitch in the 2nd chain from the hook, so this is the first one, then the second one. And also in each of the next 3. So keep going down 3 more times. There's 1 slip stitch, 2, 3. You notice there are 3 chains left that we haven't worked, so we will work in those in a later step. Okay, so the next step is we're going to chain 5, slip stitch in the 2nd chain from the hook, and each of the next 2. So we're going to chain 5, slip stitch in the 2nd chain from the hook, and each of the next 2. So there's 1, 2. And you can see in this one we have 1 chain left over that we didn't work. For the next step, we're going to chain 4, slip stitch in the 2nd and 3rd chains from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slip stitch in the 2nd and 3rd chains. Okay, and then now we're at the top of the snowflake. We're going to chain 8, slip stitch in the 2nd and 3rd chains. So 1, there's 8 chains, slip stitch in the 2nd and 3rd. So there's the 2nd and the 3rd. Then we're going to chain 3, skip next 3 chain, and then slip stitch in each of the remaining 2 chain. So we're going to chain 3, skip 3, and slip stitch in the remaining 2. So you can see we've done this part and all the branches on this side, and now we're ready to go back down the other side and mirror what we just did. Okay, so now we're on step G. So we're going to mirror this one right here. So we're going to chain 3, slip stitch in the 2nd and 3rd chains from hook, and then we're going to slip stitch in that remaining chain left from this step, which was E. So chain 3, slip stitch in the 2nd and 3rd chains from hook, and then the remaining chain left from this one. So I'm gonna slip stitch right there, and you can see that matches up. Okay, so now we're gonna match up with this one. So we're going to chain 4, slip stitch in the 2nd chain from hook, and in each of remaining 2 chain, and then we're going to slip stitch in the remaining chain from this step, which would be that last one there. So we're going to chain 4. It should mark where we are there. Chain 4, slip stitch in the second chain from the hook in each of the remaining 2. So there's the second one and the next 2. And then the remaining chain from this step. So that is right there. Okay, so now we need to mirror this one. So we're going to chain 5, slip stitch in the second chain from the hook and each of the remaining 3 chain. So chain 5, slip stitch in the second chain, and then in the next 3. And then slip stitch. Okay, now we're working in the remaining 3 chain that we left over from this one. So in those 3 chain, we're going to slip stitch in the next, single crochet in the next, and half double crochet in the next. So that's these 3 chain right here. Going to single slip stitch, single crochet, and half double crochet. Okay, now we are going to go work on the rest of that chain 7. So we're going to double crochet in the same chain as our last double crochet we made in this step, which is here. So we're going to double crochet there, half double crochet in the next chain, single crochet in the next chain, and skip the last chain. So that will go across all those chain 7 in that space. So there's the double crochet, half double crochet, and the single crochet, and then we're going to skip this one. So now we're going to repeat between the asterisks, which is steps A through J, and we're going to do all that all the way around. So let's start again with A. We're going to single crochet in the single crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook, chain 3, slip stitch in the 3rd chain, chain 3, double crochet in the 3rd chain, and then we're going to single crochet in that same single crochet. For step B, we're going to skip the 1st chain, single crochet in the next, half double crochet in the next, and double crochet in the next. For step C, we're going to start with the branches out. We're going to chain 8, and then we're going to slip stitch in the 2nd chain from the hook and each of the next 3. So there's the 2nd one, and then 3 more. And then we're going to chain 5, slip stitch in the 2nd chain from the hook and then the next 2. So there's the 2nd and 2 more. And for step E, we're going to chain 4, and slip stitch in the 2nd and the 3rd chains from hook. And then step F, we're going to chain 8, slip stitch in the second and third chains from hook, chain 3, skip 3 chain, and then slip stitch in those remaining 2. Okay, now we're working down the opposite side. We're going to chain 3, slip stitch in the second and third chains, and then in the remaining chain from this step, which is right there. Then we're going to chain 4, slip stitch in the second chain from the hook, and the next 2, and then the remaining chain from this step. And step I is chain 5, slip stitch in the second chain from the hook, and the next 3, and then we're going to work down the last chains from this step, and we do a slip stitch, a single crochet, and a half double crochet. And then for J, we're going to double crochet in that same stitch or chain that this double crochet was made. A half double crochet and a single crochet. And then we'll skip that last chain. Okay, so that is one repeat. We're going to do the same thing, steps A through J, for all the way around. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 more times, and then we will come back to join at the end of round 4. So I will meet you after we finish the repeats for the next 4 branches. Okay, we made it all the way around and have all 6 branches of the snowflake completed, so we're ready to finish it off. So we're just going to join in that beginning single crochet with a slip stitch and fasten off. So now we need to weave in the ends and we'll be ready to stiffen the snowflake. So you can make an invisible join by, you pull that thread through, we're going to go in, follow the same place the stitch would go, and then back through the center. So that makes it look like a continued stitching, and that hides it a little bit. Then we can weave it in the back. We have a thread crochet one with a smaller thread that I'm going to show you when we're doing the stiffening part. Okay, we're ready to stiffen the snowflake. I've got all my straight pins ready. I have some paper towel. I have my mixture made up for stiffening. You can use fabric stiffener, or you can use a 1-to-1 solution of just plain white glue and water. So this is just probably about a tablespoon each, and then I just mixed it up. So you're also going to need either a foam core board or a blocking mat. So I have a foam core board. I've put this blue piece of paper in here to make it a little bit easier to see. If you want, you could use something like this to pin out the snowflake to make it more precise, or I like to just swing it usually. Makes it more fun. So I'm going to put my snowflake in the stiffener. And you want to make sure it's really saturated through the snowflake. Okay, once the snowflake is really saturated, I kind of isolate it in the bag and try to squeeze out as much of the stiffener as I can. And then I use a paper towel and blot out the extra. Your fingers do get a little sticky doing this. Okay, so then you want to make sure you have the right side of the snowflake facing up. And just start pinning. I usually start with getting the branches spaced out, and you can always readjust. Okay, once you have all of the branches straightened out, you can start pinning the snowflakes and positioning them how you want. So there's lots of things you can do. So like I'll get those to the way I'd like. Up here where we had that opening chain 3 space, you could spread it out so it gives an extra shape. You could move it down to give it a different shape. You can spread out the branches in different ways, like you might want to line them all up, or you could make 2 of them go a different way if you like. And while it's still wet, you can always be rearranging it to get it the way you like. It's like we can spread this one out to give it a little more interest. So it gives you lots of options to do. And I think I like it when it's all lined up like this, so I think I'll move it that way. Okay, I've got the snowflake all pinned out the way I like it. I need to let it dry overnight so that it's completely dry before I start taking out the pins. You also might want a pair of needle nose pliers to help take out the pins. Sometimes if you're working on a foam core board, it likes to stick, and it's just easier on your fingers if you use a pair of small needle nose pliers to pull out the pins. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and enjoy making some snowflakes on your own. Happy crocheting!